What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel. Today we are here for a new Madden 23 series where I'm combining two series that I'm known for. I'm going to see if they go together like peanut butter and chocolate, or maybe it's going to be like raw fish and toothpaste. We are going to be doing a 5-year rebuild with the worst team in the NFL from a record standpoint this year, which was the Chicago Bears. However, we are going to mix in a little bit of pink slips. If you don't know what Pink Slips is, essentially, it is my other main long-term series where if you win a game, you get to steal away a player from the team that you defeated based upon your performance. If you lose a game, the team that beat you gets to poach one of your top players away based upon how badly you lost. I want to put that into a rebuild setting. I'm changing it up a little bit. It'd be a little tedious. It would be a little bit too much, like I'm just making a second Pink Slip series if we did a game-to-game basis. So what we are doing here, because it's a 5-year rebuild, we're going to calculate our star ratings, our upgrades at season end, and it is going to take the spot of free agency. We're not going to be able to sign free agents. Our player upgrades, how we're going to be able to improve the team, is going to be at the end of the year, and our upgrades are going to be based upon our full season performances. We have two scoring charts. One is going to be based off of how well the Chicago Bears do, and one will be based off of how our players perform. And from both of those, we are going to be able to calculate just what our final score was for each individual season. We're going to be able to take that score, which is going to be upgrades, and we're going to be able to poach from the teams that we defeated in that given season players to make our team better. Something like this is definitely open for refinement and suggestions. I went on my Twitter just to try to see, what people thought about my initial score. We actually went in and added a couple more things. So I will be looking through the comments to see how you guys feel about this, and it still could be adjusted so that we can make the best possible series. But I really do think adding a rebuild with Pink Slips could be fun. It could give us some fun roster building, some teams and some combinations that we just would never be able to create in another type of series. So let's go. Without further ado, year one with the Chicago Bears. And please somehow don't let me finish with like a negative star rating. That would be brutal. I suppose a quick starting point of what our team looks like. We got Justin Fields under center, who looks every bit of a franchise quarterback. He's an electrifying playmaker. We just need to see the quarterback aspect of Justin Fields develop. Because, standing back there in the pocket, his scrambling ability is as good as anybody coming out of the league this year. But it's, can he take the next step as a quarterback? So that's going to be a priority for us. Is going to be helping him and building more players around him. We definitely, you can make an argument right now. Dave Montgomery's a solid running back. Mooney and Claypool are solid wide receivers. Cole Kmet's a solid tight end. But do we have that one X factor at wide receiver? We look at the Chicago Bears roster, and you can almost equate it to the Philadelphia Eagles, where the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, there was some promise there with Devontae Smith. But then we went out and got A.J. Brown, and that really got the offensive clicking. So you're kind of looking at this as, Mooney and Claypool are solid, but I think someone that's going to help Justin Fields take the next level is going to be like an X factor, an absolute game changer. So wide receiver bringing in a top one is going to be a top priority for us if we can score accordingly. Offensive line, you got Jenkins and Braxton Jones. Look like they could be nice long-term developmental pieces, but everybody else could be upgraded upon, especially at that right tackle spot. Defensively, after trading Roquan Smith, it's definitely a defense that's lacking star talent. Eddie Jackson kind of redeemed himself this year after a little bit of a down year. Jaquan Brisker looks like an absolute stud. That was a great pick. You have Jalen Johnson, who's been outstanding. Even in the game, I can tell you, the Eagles and the Bears played last year, and even though A.J. Brown absolutely went nuclear against Jalen Johnson, there were still a bunch of great plays Jalen Johnson made. I think he's a very underrated corner. So, Kyler Gordon, we got Michael Ojemudia, who I think they just signed. He's pulling that star dev. But there's a lot of work that needs to get done here on this defensive side of the ball. You can make a legit argument. Everyone on that front seven, unless we can get someone that starts popping dev traits, can be upgraded upon. And while we do want to try to focus on the development and the progression of Justin Fields, we're not going to be able to ignore the massive holes on this defense if we want to make a team that within a 5-year period is going to be able to go on and compete and win a Super Bowl. So hopefully we get a nice little star rating here at the end of year one, and we can get some big time upgrades ahead of the draft in the offseason. This was rather unexpected. We lost to the Minnesota Vikings, but Justin Fields had a breakout scenario, and he hit it. What? We lose, but we have a superstar. Who's the real loser? Damn, Justin Fields went off. 267 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'll take that. And we get a little upgrade here for Justin Fields. Still look for that throw power, which would be dope, but he's up to a 78 overall. And, I didn't pick the Chicago Bears with the idea that we're going to upgrade against Justin Fields and get a better quarterback right away. So I'm glad that his development, especially here in year 1, is already looking amazing. Season end for year 1 for the Chicago Bears, and as it relates to at least dev traits and how everything's kind of gone in-house, the upgrade in dev trait to Justin Fields to superstar is huge, and while there was no other movement, I think that's easily the most important one, so we'll take quality over quantity. On the defensive side of the ball, Mike Pennell went up to a star dev. So did DeAndre Houston Carson, some veterans, likely players we move on from. Jalen Johnson up to a superstar. I really think the only two that was a little disappointing. I would have loved to see maybe either a Kyler Gordon or a Jack Sanborn to go up a dev trait. But we are neither, I'm not going to nitpick. Justin Fields going up superstar in season was easily the most important thing that we could have had. We finished 6-11. We are here at the Super Bowl. But it is time to calculate what our star rating is going to be, what teams we defeated, and what players we're bringing in this offseason. All right, so first up is going to be our season scoring with 6 wins, with 1 point per win, with 11 losses, a half point per loss. We kind of, at least we're ahead, right? We finished with a half point. The only other scoring we can even calculate year 1 are players that made the Pro Bowl. And we got Jalen Johnson making the Pro Bowl, which is worth a half point. Surprisingly enough, DeAndre Houston Carson also made the Pro Bowl, which is worth a half point. So our season performance earns us 1.5 points on the upgrade scale. Now let's take a look at our player performances here for year 1. Justin Fields going for 35 passing touchdowns is worth a half point. David Montgomery going over 1,000 yards and over 10 touchdowns gives him 1 full point. N'Keal Harry, surprisingly enough, gets 10 receiving touchdowns, which is worth a half point. And on the defensive side, Jack Sanborn going over 100 tackles is a half point. Same for DeAndre Houston Carson, so throw up another half. We have over 15 TFLs for both Mike Pennell and Trevis Gibson, so that's a half point for each. And last but not least, our Pro Bowl player, Jalen Johnson, with 5 interceptions, gets a half point. So our player scoring here in year 1 ends up being 4.5 points. So combining that with our season performances, it is giving us a 6-star upgrade, which is 12 overall points. We can spend those 12 points from the following teams that we beat in year 1. We have the Houston Texans, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, surprisingly, the Dallas Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons, and lastly, our divisional rival in an overtime thriller, the Green Bay Packers. We're sending our first point of our 12 to send rookie, we're going into his second year, Dominique Robinson, who's 73 normal, and we're just going to get a quick +1 for a like-for-like pass rusher, 74, but get the dev trait increase from Arnold Ebiketie over our victory from the Falcons. We're going to use another 1 point upgrade to send star dev Chase Claypool, 24 star dev, 78 overall. And we're going to go poach from a divisional rival, Christian Watson, who's star dev, 79 overall and a year younger. We're going to flip rookies yet again, and this is going to be a 5 point upgrade from our Houston Texans victory. We're going to send them Kyler Gordon, 75 normal dev rookie corner, still pretty solid, but we're going to get Derek Stingley, 80 overall star dev corner. With 5 points remaining from our victory over the Giants, we're going to be sending Riley Reeve, 73 normal dev tackle, 33 years old. And from the Giants, we are taking Evan Neal, 78 superstar franchise tackle to help out Justin Fields. So we have to skip free agency. It's the nature of the series. But looking at our team going into the draft, we have a brand new right tackle. We have a brand new wide receiver 2 who offers a skill set that we didn't quite have on the roster. I think that was a fair trade. I think would you rather Christian Watson right now or Chase Claypool? I think almost everybody would take Christian Watson in that argument. And on the defensive side, we have added Arnold Ebiketie, who we're going to move to defensive end. He's going to play on the other side of Gibson. And we have a new corner 2 to pair with Jalen Johnson here in Derek Stingley. Now, let's get to the draft. So after skipping free agency, we are now at the draft, which for pink slip scoring, this is the start of year 2. As for every hidden dev player we draft, that is worth a half star. We have a top 5 pick, and the top 5 looks absolutely disgusting. I mean, maybe if you needed a quarterback, Joey Labato out of the U looks fairly solid. Like, the tackle could de facto to the tackle pick. But, like, telling the fact that there's still the top 5 are still on the board at pick 4, just a garbage top 5. So we're kind of in a spot where you just got to go best player available for what we need. And I think what we need a center, we need another wide receiver, a D tackle, or a linebacker. I think the best option right now, we also want to be trying to chase the dev trades to get ping scoring, is going to be bringing in another wide receiver. And I'm going to be looking here at Daniel Anderson, 6'1", a deep route running. We got elite speed, 4.2 speed. I just think at this point, maybe it's not the best use of our pick, but it looks like an absolutely terrible draft class. I would have loved like a generational edge rusher, a generational corner. They don't exist. So we're going to grab the super fast wide receiver who looks like a bust. Awesome. I guess the good news is that the one player that I really did want is still on the board. Cody Donald at center. Center's the weak point of our offensive line. He has double A's, B pass block, B run block, and his combine is, I mean, it's not the best, but we'll go with the guy that slipped out of the first round at a position of need. And there is the hidden dev. Give us a half-star pink scoring. I need another linebacker. Our linebacking core, even like I want to try to develop Sanborn a little bit. I'm going to go against the athletic. Like, how tall is that guy? 5'9". Is that 6 feet tall? I literally have pink eye, like the worst pink eye I've ever had. I can barely read. But what I can read is he has tackle, he has zone coverage, he has pursuit. That is embarrassing that I can't read. We're going to get Malcolm Murphy. Hidden dev linebacker. Let's go. 1 star already in the bank. Got another one. Top corner. He was literally the #1 player that was on the big board right now. Didn't look amazing. Didn't have the best combine. Had decent stats. Stephen Lacey is going to be like a depth corner, probably like in the 60s. But all that matters is the dev trait, another half star. So take a look at our draft. You know what? I was getting ready to say, the first time I might have drafted an actual bust in any of my content. I mean, still a 76 ain't that bad. His skill set is still pretty good. And he's going to play for us. He's going to be a wide receiver 3. So there's going to be a chance maybe if he goes in the slot, could get rookie of the year, could go up dev trade. It doesn't look as bad. But it does suck when you have a top 5 pick and you end up with a normal dev. However, we got Cody Donald, who's going to start for us at center. He's a hidden dev, which is pink scoring. We have Malcolm Murphy at outside linebacker. He's likely going to start as well. He's hidden dev, which is pink slip scoring. We got Stephen Lacey, who was a guy that wasn't even on my board. He was just BPA. I knew he was going to be in the 60 because he didn't look that good, but he somehow popped with a dev trait, which is our 3rd. So we're at 1.5 star scoring here for our draft. Oh my God, I also drafted a guy under a 60, which sucks. I was just kind of just swinging for dev traits at that point. But 3 hidden devs, 3 really good players for our very first draft. So with 1.5 stars already in the bank from the draft, year 2 has started out very nicely. Here's what the offense looks like. It's exactly the same, except we have a brand new center and Evan Neal coming over from the New York Giants to be our superstar right tackle. We're going to go Anderson, our first round pick, top 5 pick. A lot of pressure with the normal dev for him to produce here year 1. I'm actually going to stick him in the slot as well. But between him, Mooney, and the new Christian Watson, plenty of weapons for Justin Fields to continue to excel here in year 2. On the defensive side, we have Arnold Ebiketie there at pass rusher. He's brand new for us. We're going to go Murphy at linebacker, him, Sanborn, and Morrow. Stingley at corner. I very much want to see him go up dev trade, hit the sky run, and live up to the potential that he had coming out of LSU. And I think playing alongside Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, and Jaquan Brisker is a great environment for him to do so. Excited to see where this team can get at year 2. Really, I just want to be above 500. The end of year 2, I don't know if I've ever seen that. 8-9 wins the division. So that's excellent for pink scoring. But I mean, we got to finish this season first. We got to figure out just how far we can actually go. So let's keep on keeping on here. We're 8-9, first round in the wild card against the Carolina Panthers. I mean, a playoff victory would have been nice. That actually will go down as an additional loss. That counts as a loss. So that's 10 on the year. Okay, so that's a nice -5 on top of everything else that's going to be so good. As we fall 31-28 to the Carolina Panthers in the first round of the playoffs. At least it was close. It was competitive. And, I mean, they got 17 in the 4th. We just fell apart. We choked. We had the lead, and we could not handle Teddy Bridgewater. After the doom and gloom of being one and done the playoffs, let's at least see what kind of upgrades we're going to be able to get going into our second offseason. We finished with 8 wins, which is 8 points, to go on top of the 1.5 points that we earned from the draft, where we got 3 hidden dev players. We did have 10 losses on the year, which immediately takes a 5-point hit for all those losses, but we won the division, which is worth 2 stars. For the Pro Bowl, because you get a half star for everyone that makes Pro Bowl, we had a couple guys, maybe not as many as I would have expected. Maybe you thought winning the division, you'd have a little bit more. But we get Pro Bowl scoring here from Murphy, our rookie linebacker. We get Pro Bowl scoring here from Jalen Johnson, who comes in at corner 4 in the NFC. And for Eddie Jackson, who is the backup safety in the Pro Bowl. We get a nice +2 here for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, linebacker Malcolm Murphy. So we're measuring progress from year 1 to year 2. Year 1, our season scoring only gave us 1.5 stars. This year, we end up finishing with 10 points. 10 stars worth of scoring from our season performance. Looking at our scoring for our players this year, a little bit on the light end for sure. David Montgomery gives us a full point, half star for going over 1,000 yards and just barely getting the 10 rushing touchdowns. From a receiving standpoint, we get half a star for Daniel Anderson, our rookie, getting 11 touchdowns, which is obviously breaking the 10 touchdown threshold. And on the defensive side, we have 3 players going over 100 tackles. Each 100 tackler is worth a half point. So Johnson, Murphy, and Jack Sanborn. We didn't get anything, though, for TFLs or sacks or interceptions. So for our player scoring, it only ends up being 3 stars. So that's a hell of a progress. Year 1, we only ended up getting 6 stars, which is 12 points to upgrade. Year 2, we finished with 13 stars, which is 26 points to go out and improve the squad. For our team in closing, as it relates to dev traits, going into our second offseason, offensively, no one went up or down a dev trait. And on the defensive side, as it relates to our starters, we have Jalen Johnson up to an X Factor, Eddie Jackson up to a superstar. But to give you an idea, maybe what direction we want to go for our player upgrades, it's always either, holes in your roster or guys that are starting to get older. So maybe if we can look at flipping Cody White here while he still has a decent rating, that should be something we consider. Maybe we could take one of our offensive players over the top and get an elite game changer. I won't rule that out. And on the defensive side, I think both defensive tackle spots, maybe potentially getting a premier pass rusher, an outside linebacker, or potentially cashing out on Eddie Jackson before he starts to regress, all needs to be considered. For victories this season, so the players that we're going to be able to pick from, we have the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota Vikings, the Carolina Panthers, who actually went on to win the Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions, the Vikings again, the Packers, and the Chargers. There was 2 lines of thinking when you have 26 points worth to upgrade. You either swing for the fences, or you try and get the best 3 depth pieces that you can get. We're swinging for the fences. We're going to be sending David Montgomery, 88 star, to the Cleveland Browns for Nick Chubb. Now, I was a little worried about him being 28, but he's not really going to face any regression for 2 more years. And then, by the time we start seeing a little bit of regression to Nick Chubb, we're going to be in the 5th and final year of the rebuild. He is the best running back, arguably, in the NFL. So I thought spending 11 of our 26 on the highest rated running back in the game was a good move. Now to the second move. With our final 15 points remaining, it came down to 2 options. Either we could have got Ike Ekwonu at left tackle and Aiden Hutchinson at defensive end, and he's up to an X Factor, or we spend all of the 15 remaining on Justin Jefferson. And I just kind of think, from a sim standpoint, the sim is designed around dominating with superstars, and none more so than upgrading Darnell Mooney, who's been serviceable, and getting arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL today, all while weakening one of our divisional rivals. So I could have gone with maybe a death move, got 3 good players instead of 2 elite players, but I decided to get 2 99s. Nick Chubb, Justin Jefferson, welcome to Chicago. It's draft time, and there are 4 players I absolutely want. Like, desperate, I might have to find a way to trade, even though I don't really want to trade. We have 2 6'3" and 6'4" corners with 4.3 speed. We have 2 defensive tackles, 6'5", 311, 6'3", 309, both with over 40 reps in the bench press. Elite strength, elite traits. It's few and far between, you guys. You get these bona fide freaks that aren't, top 5 true talent. We got to find a way to get at least 3 of these guys. All right, up first, we'll grab the corner, just because there's 1 corner left on the board, and we're going to have a chance at 2 defensive tackles in the second round. So Carlos McFadden, 6'4". B-man, he's a man cover corner. Zone's not that bad. I mean, you see a D, it's probably going to be like 65, something like that, zone coverage, which is fine. Run a man defense, but 6'4", elite change of direction, elite agility, 4.3 speed, absolutely ridiculous. Give me the dev trait. Give me the pink slips grade. I didn't want to have to trade up, and he goes off the board, the first D tackle to the Bengals, Charles Chapman. Just fine. Be able to get the consolation prize. Second D tackle, Michael Marsh out of Florida. Again, when you're going for D tackles, usually, like you see stats like this on the guys that are like 340, 350 pounds. Getting a guy that's 6'3", 309 that also has elite acceleration. I've never seen a D tackle this guy here is a little bit like, 10 pounds, 15 pounds away from being Aaron Donald clone. Michael Marsh. Freak. How is that guy second? This is usually a top 5 graded prospect. Now here's where the tough pick comes. I wanted a linebacker. I wanted to get out of this draft with a linebacker, and we're only really down to 2 guys. You know me. I like the A-zone coverage because that's what we need. We need pass cover linebackers. Nate Edens fringe, kind of what you're looking for. The only other guy with A-zone is George Corner, 5'11", A-zone coverage, C tackle, C block shed. But he does have elite speed. He does have elite acceleration, elite change of direction. Just a freak, man. An absolute freak. No dev trait, but that's a guy that can get on the field sooner than later. I'm starting to run it up here. This is a late round pick. I'm literally just going, what spots on my depth chart do I only have one player in the position? And we got a lineman here, Philip Clinton out of Nevada. Doesn't look anything too special. Lucky with the dev. That's our 4th of the draft. I was just about to record. We had a punter that was A awareness, A kick accuracy. Also pops 95 kick power. We're going to have probably all of our players 70 plus. This might be a go draft class. And after adding Nick Chubb and Justin Jefferson, okay, we actually got hit with the lower 75 punter. I grabbed the best fullback, which was 73, normal dev. We got a 65 hit. We will take that every day of the week. Whiffed on this pick, so he was a power rusher, trying to get maybe more of an edge. But corner 73, linebacker here out of Oklahoma. Unfortunately, there was no dev trait there, but the base rating is pretty solid. McFadden, height, weight, speed on the outside, 76, hidden dev, 6'4", 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 92 agility. Freak. Maybe you want to see a little more, jumping there to say like, oh, he's the next Tariq Woolen. Plus, obviously, Woolen was drafted day 3. But look at Michael Marsh. Might be free. Depending on, that's a superstar dev. This guy just might barely make the cutoff for like a generational player. Considering he was supposed to go 2nd, 3rd round, everything about him to me looked like a top 5 pick. With our boost, 99 strength, 80 block shed, 85 tackle, 85 acceleration, 75 speed. What a freak of nature. And this is one of my best drafts I've ever had. 76 hidden dev, 79 hidden dev, 73. We got a 65 hidden dev tackle. We utilize a fullback, so I just grabbed a 73 fullback. He had double B's on blocking and carrying. And then we just get the best punter in the draft. Awesome. So going into year 3, we started with 4 hidden dev players in the draft. So we already got a nice 2-star rolling into the year in case it's maybe a little bit on the disappointing side. But newcomers to the offense, we went out and straight up upgraded the skill positions. Justin Jefferson is our new wide receiver 1. Nick Chubb is trying to become the next great Chicago Bears running back, the next sweet. I'm not going to say that he's going to be the next sweetness. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next Gale Sayers, but I'm saying he's going to be the next goddamn Nick Chubb, and that's going to be pretty freaking good. Defensively, we have gone out and brought in we got to see the dev, borderline generational defensive tackle. I think for where he was projected to go, I'm going to give it to him. We got a 6'4" corner monster that is going to come into a secondary already with Derek Stingley and X Factor Jalen Johnson. Really, the only work, I guess you could say the linebacking cores, but we got corner here, late 73. Sanborn's going to play. One of those guys goes up dev. We are absolutely laughing, and I think this is going to be a big-time year for the Chicago Bears. I'm guessing 12 wins. This new Bears team, week 1, putting 45 points up on the Indianapolis Colts in a victory, and we get a breakout for one of our 2 question mark linebackers, as good as a start as you could ask for. And we lost week 2, and our linebacker didn't go up dev. Maybe a little bit of resistance coming this season. Okay, can't just buy success. 7-10. I don't know. I don't know if the Bears playbook's good. We might be a victim of our playbook here a little bit. Well, we already know Justin Fields is going to not get full points, as we're going to lose a star because he has 15 pick. I don't know. Wow. I mean, we'll calculate everything. Chubb was solid. I mean, that's copy and paste what we were getting with Montgomery. And Justin Jefferson. Okay. So we have a Bears playbook here where the slot wide receiver is the only guy that eats. So I think going into next year, we know just going to plug and play Justin Jefferson in the slot. So for our regular season scoring, on top of the 2 stars that we got for drafting 4 hidden dead players, we had 7 wins on the year, which is 7 points, but we had 10 losses. So that is a -5 to our stars. For the awards, we got lucked out a little bit as it relates to the yearly awards. We had 3 players make the Pro Bowl this year. Nick Chubb was running back 3. Sucks to see Darnell Mooney have a much better year than Justin Jefferson, but that's Madden for you. Cole Kmet at tight end 3 is number 2. And on the defensive side of the football, we were very lucky to see Jalen Johnson get corner 3. So having 3 players make the Pro Bowl is worth 1.5 stars. And we had a yearly award winner, back-to-back years. A member of the Chicago Bears is the Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is worth 2 full stars. That's a big one, giving us, on the year, 7.5 stars for our regular season performance. Now for individual player stats, Justin Fields ends up giving us a negative, starting in the red. His 15 interceptions is -0.5 star. On the rushing standpoint, though, we start, everything's uphill from here. Nick Chubb going over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns gives us 1 full star. Khalil Herbert getting 10 rushing touchdowns is worth a half star. Christian Watson going over 1,000 yards and Cole Kmet going over 1,000 yards combined is 1 full star at half a star each. And on the defensive side of the ball, we had 5 tacklers over 100 tackles. McFadden, Brisker, Jalen Johnson, Malcolm Murphy, and George Corner. All of that combined is 2.5 stars. That was huge for us kind of breaking even. Justin Jones with 15 TFLs is a half star. And yet again, Jalen Johnson with 5 interceptions gives us another half star, ending up as a +6 stars for our player performances on what was really a disappointing season. So we had 13.5. Says there's no halves. I'll do the Admiral thing and I'll round down. We have a +26 upgrade going into the offseason, and also with Corner getting Defensive Rookie of the Year, he got the generous superstar boost, which is huge. So taking a look at our team's dev traits as we end year 3, I'm a little worried about Justin Jefferson. That was a bad year. I'm expecting to see him lose his X factor, which he did, which is also, I'm not going to say kind of expected, and hopefully if we can get him going, it won't be too long until he gets back up to an X factor. Cole Kmet had a great year, and he got a dev trait increase from star up to a superstar. So I suppose, in terms of moving pieces, even though it definitely stings losing an X factor, we still net positive on the dev traits on offense. On the defensive side, we had Marsh, who we thought might have been a generational player. He was only a star dev, still fine. McFadden, first round corner, also popped with a star dev, but Corner, who was a star dev, earned as superstar upgrade throughout this season. So all in all, disappointing year. In terms of results, in terms of no playoffs, in terms of Justin Jefferson kind of figuring out his groove here in Chicago. But as far as dev traits and the direction of this team is going, we're still definitely going up. And now we have 26 points to improve the squad going into year 4. Lastly, the teams we have to pick from that we were able to defeat in year 3. We have the Indianapolis Colts, the New York Giants again, the Minnesota Vikings again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Houston Texans again, the San Francisco 49ers, and lastly, the Arizona Cardinals. All right, first, we're going to spend 3 of our 26 by sending Derek Stingley. This is more of like a win now. We had 2 years left, so we're not necessarily going to hit the ceiling of Derek Stingley. So he is an 84 star dev corner, and using 3 points, we're going to bring Byron Murphy Jr. over from the Arizona Cardinals, 27 years old, 87 with a superstar dev. Second upgrade is going to be using +4. We're going to be sending Christian Watson, 82 star dev wide receiver. And it's kind of like in soccer. It was a loan move. He loaned Darnell Mooney to the Vikings. He balled. He went out. He's up to an 86 superstar. So we're using +4. We're bringing Darnell Mooney back to the Chicago Bears. And saving the best for last, with 19 points remaining, we're going to be sending Arnold Ebiketie, 80 star dev pass rusher, to the 49ers. We had our pick. It was I got Nick Bosa for 19. I could have got Fred Warner for 19. We're getting Bosa. We need the pass rush up. I don't think we've had yet in this rebuild a Bears pass rusher go over 10 sacks. Nick Bosa is the problem solver in that department. Much like last year, as we go to the draft, we're in the defensive tackle market. We need actually a second defensive tackle to pair with our pick from last year. A couple good ones on the board. Jawara Hitchcock out of Florida State. double B's in block shed, finesse move, plus a tackle. We also have a couple good guys. Malik Coleman, a tackle, B power move, B finesse. So pretty well rounded. I do think we probably should go with this guy. I think Jermaine Levy might be the best of the bunch. Still second, third rate. Maybe a reach at pick 11. We got the B block shed, finesse, power, all B's. A tackle to go along with elite acceleration. 38 reps at his pro day. The 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle, all pretty dang good. I think this might be our best bet. Let's go. Can we replicate 79 hidden dev? Nope. Our left tackle is solid, Braxton Jones, but we could always use a more upside tackle, and this might be the best of the bunch. Falling to the first round, Marcus Rice out of North Carolina. A pass block, B run block, coming in. If this guy's good, I might have something. Might be on his elite agility. Marcus Rice does pop with hidden dev. I'm almost, when it comes to tackles that have high rating grades, so he had the A and the B, and low strength seems to be a winning combination. Might be something to keep an eye out for your own fantasy drafts. At this point, we're going BPA, and hey, you know what? I'm just going to say this now. If this isn't a good pick, it's probably not going to make the video, but we're going to grab Joseph Payton. B deep route running. Combine looks pretty good. Damn it. We only have one setter on the roster, so let's take a look at Duncan Davidson out of Alabama. Double A with a B. Combine, elite agility. I like the look of it. Give me a dev. Thank you. At least we got one on the board. So the draft wasn't our best piece of work, and that's still, we're being hypercritical because we still ended up with a 76 defensive tackle, 71 offensive tackle. The tight end was a little bit of a whiff. Fourth round pick, our lone hidden dev, Duncan Davidson, 73. So we get a half star from our rookie class. Maybe not the best way to start out the year, but we had it. Nick Bosa, I'm sure we'll be fine. So we had two hidden devs, two linemen. Rice, I forgot the tackle. So yeah, we got one full star already from our draft class. That ain't too bad. All right, I hope to God we can put together some results. I'm pretty sure the Bears playbook isn't that bad. We should be able to put it all together with the addition of Darnell Mooney back in a Bears uniform. Let's hope the offense puts it all together. Defense is where we tried to make this right, because even last year where we were disappointing, we still had a top 10 offense. Defense is where it was lacking a little bit, so we got an upgraded D-tackle too in Levy, our first round pick. We brought in Nick Bosa, who should be a freak of nature. We bring in an upgrade corner 2, Byron Murphy Jr., hopefully gives us a little bit more than what we were getting from Derek Stingley. Again, this should be at minimum a 10-win team. Let's figure it out, fellas. And at the end of year 4, we make the playoffs. Kind of annoying knowing that you got 2 extra stars on the line for winning the division, that we tied with the Packers, but somehow they get the official nod. But at least we have an opportunity to prove that we're the better team here in the wild card as we get to take them on. So before we really calculate anything, we got to see if we can go on a little bit of a playoff run here. So let's see. On the back of Justin Fields, who's yet to have that defining playoff moment. He's been a solid player. Another loss. I believe that brings us to 0-2 in our playoffs. We're in year 4. We're adding freaks of nature to the team every year, and we're just not. I mean, that one at least this one's not on Justin Fields. But that does give us our 8th loss of the year, which is -4. So congratulations, Green Bay, on that one. So in our last window to add any players to the team ahead of year 5, our season performance in year 4 goes as such. So we started with 2 players with hidden devs in the draft, which is 1 star. We have 10 wins, which is 10 stars. We did lose 8 games with that playoffs loss, so we're going to have to shave off 4 stars from that total. And from the Pro Bowl, we ended up having 3 Pro Bowlers this year. Nick Chubb at running back 3. We had on the defensive side Nick Bosa at defensive end 1. And making his first Pro Bowl at safety, Jaquan Brisker gets the start. So 3 Pro Bowlers is a star and a half, giving us 8.5 for our final year 4 total. Going into our player stats, kind of need a big number here, man, because for the looks of it, we're going to need a lot to get this team over the hump. And unfortunately, no scoring for Justin Fields. And I think if this rebuild does go down as a failure, maybe our commitment to Justin Fields, because, I mean, you kind of got it. If you're doing a Bears rebuild with it, regardless of the context, kind of got to try to stick with Justin Fields. And he's been fine, but he's not been a game changer for this offense. 0 points from him. Nick Chubb gets us a full star with his 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns. On the receiving end, no 1,000-yard receiver, which is incredibly disappointing with Justin Jefferson on the roster. He at least did get 10 touchdowns, which is worth a half star. On the offensive side, I mean, we have yet to get... I mean, Jenkins, that was the closest we've been to our linemen pitching a shutout, because obviously we will still show love to the linemen. They give up 0 sacks, and they started Every game, they will get a star, but nothing there. On the defense, we had 3 players go over 100 tackles. Brisker, Murphy, and Koner at a star, half star each, gives us 1.5 stars from our tackles. And Nick Bosa pretty much paid for himself with his 16 TFLs, 16 sacks. He is getting a half star for each of those, so 1 full star for Nick Bosa. It ends up being 4 stars for our player performance this year, giving us 12.5 on the year. Because it's Pink Slips, we will round down generously, so it's only a 12-star performance, which is 24 points to work with for upgrades. One of the teams that we could pick from a pool of players based off of our wins last year, we beat the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the New York Giants, the Baltimore Ravens. We have the Denver Broncos, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders, and the New Orleans Saints. Let's maximize this plus 24 and find a way to get this team over the hump in year 5. And as far as dev traits are concerned, up or down, Bears offense is where wide receivers go to die. Justin Jefferson regressed down to a star. We also had Cole Kmet downgraded to a star. And on the defensive side, as it relates to dev traits, we have had Byron Murphy downgraded to a star. But at least we saw Murphy, the other Murphy, is not related, go up to a superstar here at linebacker, a player that we drafted, in Jaquan Brisker, making his first Pro Bowl up to a superstar as well. We're working with 24 points. We got to make it count. So our first upgrade, we are spending 9 of the 24, sending normal dev linebacker Jack Sanborn, who's been a starter for all over years, and we're going to be getting a JOK, Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa, originally of the Browns, now somehow on the Ravens, but he's an 86 superstar, and he will move right inside the middle linebacker. And our remaining points are going to be a double hitter from the Denver Broncos. We're spending 7 points to upgrade left tackle Braxton Jones, 80 normal dev to bring in the big ticket Mekhi Becton, 87 superstar. Maybe that's something we've been missing, like a franchise left tackle. We've had Evan Neal on the right side. Now let's complete that. And then lastly, kind of a revolving door for Darnell Mooney. But he regressed that way, and we got to just figure out what's the winning combination at wide receiver. Who could pair well with Justin Jefferson? So we're going to be sending Darnell Mooney, 87 star dev wide receiver, to the Denver Broncos to get Jerry Jeudy, who's developed like a monster, who is up to a 95 superstar X Factor. Here's a look at our final draft, kind of like a nothing draft for the most part after we made our first round pick. Just skipped it out. I'll get another linebacker to come in and try to compete. Jared Atkins actually might have a shot. We're going to move JOK inside the middle linebacker. Yeah, probably won't play, but he did pop with a hidden dev, and he was pretty well rounded, and you can see why I drafted him. Outstanding athlete, 91 acceleration, 87 speed. But, again, at this point, year 5 draft, it's going to have to be a generational player to really make much of an impact for the final year of this rebuild. And here we go, our 5th and final year. This is our first Pink Slips rebuild. This is our final team. I was actually a little bit worried when I was kind of making up the scoring stuff. Like, man, this is going to be pretty ridiculous. And, consider we're a 90 overall. If I'm just doing regular rebuilds, it's not uncommon to have a team that's this good. If not a team that might arguably be better. So, that's kind of good. For, anytime we do a first episode, I wasn't quite sure how this all would play out. And I think while our team's obviously stacked, we're not overpowered by any means. We're still looking for our first playoff victory. So on the offensive side of the ball, we now have the addition of Jerry Jeudy, 97 X Factor. Mekhi Becton, I actually decided to keep him at right tackle, moving Evan Neal to left tackle. That offensive line, very good. The receiving room, S tier. The running back is as good as it gets. Justin Fields, for the love of God, take your game to the next level. As it relates to the defensive side of the ball, we never really found that second elite defensive tackle, or maybe even debatably an elite defensive tackle. In our pass rush, we maybe have stuck with Gibson for a little too long, but we got Nick Bosa. It's his job to kind of carry the load, which he did last year for sure. Linebacking core is as good as it's been so far. JOK coming over from the Ravens. We got Atkins, our first-round pick, will slide into middle linebacker. Murphy at outside linebacker. Brisker and Eddie Jackson still doing their damn thing. Jalen Johnson, love seeing a homegrown talent develop. Byron Murphy and our 6'4" McFadden will be our third corner there. But this team here is, let's be honest, man, too damn good to not even be realistically close to challenging for a Super Bowl. All or nothing here, year 5, Super Bowl or bust. Does Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears have what it takes? We'll find out. Can't make this up. 16-1. Unreal. The year that we actually don't have any way to earn players and earn upgrades. 16-1. There was no, we got frustrated, went Bucks or Chiefs playbook. We were a team that was barely struggling to get above 500, and you're telling me that we were just missing Mekhi Becton? That was the missing piece for us to just, by 7 points, avoid a perfect season. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and complain that we got 16. It's just, where was this? Were the guys that we just added? Jerry Jeudy, Mekhi Becton, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Those are the missing pieces from this entire reboot. We've had freak team to go 16-1. I would have loved at some other point, instead of going 10 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. That's like kind of what we've been getting. That's the area code that we've been in. Take off this 16 and like give us a couple more wins in each year and have this year be like 12 or 13 wins. 16-1 from the Chicago Bears. At least we got a first round bye. Let's sim a little week here and see who we're going to be taking on in the divisional. Because 16-1 in the regular season means absolutely nothing if you can't go on and win a playoff game. And I'm already sniffing one and done. We're playing the Dallas Cowboys, even though they're 8-9. Someone somewhere made the Dallas Cowboys playbook really good. Let you guys figure that out. Looking at our team, how did we get to 16-1? Did anyone put it? I mean, Justin Fields still didn't even play that amazing. 38 touchdowns, 5 picks. It's his best year for sure, but he's not like an MVP front runner. Nick Chubb, his worst season. As far as receiving, Justin Jefferson finally played well. Jerry Jeudy was okay. I'm not seeing much on the offense that's day and night from what we had a year before. JOK was a strong tackler. 17 sacks from Bosa. Honestly, from a production, from a box score standpoint, not really seeing a 16-1 team, or at least compared to previous years where we weren't even close to 16-1. Jalen Hurts ends up winning the MVP. Justin Fields coming in number 5 in the MVP race for individual awards. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations to you, sir. For the rest of the offense, Duncan Davidson, our backup center who didn't play, wins Lineman of the Year. We'll take it, I suppose. But, I guess because it's the final year, we'll hop in, we'll play the moment, sit front row here in the divisional round against the 8-9 Dallas Cowboys. But just set the tone, man. 16-1. We have the number 15th offense, but a number 4 rushing offense. We have the number 1 defense. Just keep that in mind. 16-1 against 8-9 Dallas. We have the number 1 defense. Watch us give up 40 points. Let's go, Bears. Don't let me down. If we can go, if everything, all of our struggles have led to a year 5 Super Bowl victory in my brand new rebuild series, hey, I'll take it. Opening quarter, 3-3, trading field goals. Dallas gets the first touchdown of the game, and then they just march on right down the field and get back-to-back touchdowns. We need a lifeline here. Let's get a score, get it down to 1. Yes, sir. And there's our defense, almost right on cue, going to be giving up 30-some points. But our offense is, at least it's keeping us in it. It just, anytime Dallas needs a touchdown, they go down and get one. And our number 1 defense, it gives us a chance. 2:27 to go. 4th down and 9. You know we're going to come in. If this is any team not Dallas, I'd probably be like, you know what? It's not in the stars for us to win. I hate Dallas. Let's figure it out. We got Justin Jefferson top of the screen. Cole Kmet might need to be our first read depending on what those linebackers do. Or we just go the Jerry Jeudy, make the safe catch. Probably could have kept running there. Probably could have kept running, but we make sure that we get the first down. And then we get back-to-back no plays. Can we get another shot? Gotta watch that safety there. Justin Jefferson. We got Anderson, who was actually our lowest pick. But we just need Justin. Oh my God, he got him. Boom. Easy does it. Where was I get 16-1? I get it. Because this should be this easy every single time. You got Justin freaking Jefferson, who somehow, since he's been on our team, has only gone down dev trait. Now, this is unbelievable. All right. It's Dallas, of course, 16-1. Below 500 Dallas Cowboy. This is the ultimate Madden 23 franchise sim game. But all we need is Justin Jefferson to do what he just did, and we'll be good. Anderson at B. He's 97 speed. Jerry Jeudy, let's make sure he's just going in a straight line. Let's go. It's going to be Justin Jefferson. Oh, my God. Oh! Deron Bland. You're putting Deron Bland. 70, I'm going to guess 78 corner on a 99 wide receiver with no safety help. That's their own damn fault. That is their own damn fault for doing that. I'm going to pick on that every damn day. 390 yards, 3 touchdowns, Justin Fields. $172 through the air for Justin Jefferson. And the Bears beat Dallas. We should have been way easier. And we're going to the NFC Championship. Running through the NFC East, NFC Championship game. Still, we should absolutely win. Going up against X Factor Jalen Hurts and the 9-8 Eagles. Let's go, NFC Championship. The one team that I won't be upset about. Because it bodes well for in real life playoffs. Because I'm going to be honest with you now. A lot of people are hyping the Niners. Eagles kick the shit out of the Niners. But maybe they won't kick the shit out of the Bears. Because this Bears team is freak. And we're holding hey, at least we're holding the Eagles to field goals. This great defense, #1 defense in the NFL, playing like it. And this one is getting pretty one-sided, but I have seen in the sim my team fall asleep in the second half. So let's just get another touchdown. That should put it away. Never know, though. Quick touchdown here for the Eagles. Could make things interesting, which it does. It's a one-score game. We've had multiple 3-and-outs. And just like clockwork, Philly ties it up. We can't have another one of these, right? Where the team just somehow at the end of the game against my #1 defense. Oh, shit! My defense choked again, much like Dallas. And then with the final play, who was it? With the final play with zeros on the clock, with 17 seconds remaining, Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith to tie it at 34. And then to end the game, zeros on the clock, 75-yard touchdown, Nick Chubb to put the 16-1 Bears in the Super Bowl. And this is as good of a Super Bowl you could ask for. 16-1 Bears, 15-2 Ravens. And this is a Ravens team that we poached their best linebacker. In the offseason, this is a little bit of revenge. We took JOK, and they still were able to persevere and go 15-2. This is going to be an epic Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, two of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the NFL, going at it. The Lombardi Trophy on the line. The Bears strike first, going up 7-zip. The Ravens just look like a solid team. They didn't really have anything that was standout in terms of position groups, and obviously we are relying on our #1 ranked defense to kind of keep us in these matchups. And then hopefully you get Nick Chubb and guys like that to go off. Going to halftime about 14-9. I mean, we're not, at least they're not going off. They get a touchdown. We equalize right away. We're trading points, 21-24. Early fourth. We get the go-ahead score, up 4. Defense looks to be playing. Oh, that is a late turnover there by the Baltimore Ravens. We go for it. Get the 3 on 4th down. Another turnover. We are gassing up the #1 ranked defense. And it was the difference. The Chicago Bears in year 5, after years of adding superstar talent after superstar talent, year in, year out, disappointing years, one and done in the playoffs, year 5 Super Bowl or bust, out of nowhere, 16-1, #1 ranked defense, and when it needed the most, we showed up on the biggest stage. Justin Fields outduels Lamar Jackson, both freak of nature, athletes at the quarterback spot. And only one able to rise. And look, a historic franchise that's been down bad for a minute. The reason why we picked the Chicago Bears for our first Madden 23 Pink Slips rebuild. Because they're down bad. They're the worst team in the NFL. But this hopefully helps ease the pain until you guys get the first overall pick. Or whatever war chest you're going to end up getting from that pick if you decide to trade out Justin Fields with the Super Bowl, and that is a successful 1-0 start to this new Pink Slips rebuild series. So anytime we debut something new, guys, definitely looking for comments in the comment section below as far as feedback is concerned. I was personally a little worried, like once we started adding the 99s and X Factors, this was going to get incredibly overpowered, and it came down to the final season, the final, it was really, in terms of success, in terms of being too overpowered, it was in line with almost any other rebuild we do, but I always want to get your guys' feedback, so let me know that. And what team do you want to see next in this series if we do decide to keep on keeping on and turning them out? What should be our second Pink Slips rebuild? Let me know in the comment section below. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys back here on the next one. Peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.